Good morning. I am Kortensia Carty. We begin this morning with our weather forecast. It is partly cloudy with a 20% or slight chance of showers, a high of 86 and a low of 72 degrees. Mr. Owen Keynes, who laid the wreath on behalf of the family. The delegation then moved to the St. Peter's Anglican Churchyard Cemetery, where they paid respect to Comrade Clarence Fitzroy Bryant, leader of the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party. Dr. Terence Drew gave remarks whilst former Minister of Parliament Marcella Liburd laid the wreath on behalf of the family. Wreaths were also laid on the graves of Sir Robert Llewellyn Bradshaw, the first national hero of St. Kitts and Nevis, Sir Lee Llewellyn Moore, Comrade E. St. John Payne, Comrade J. E. O'Flaherty, Sir Probert Innes, Dr. Cuthbert Sebastian, former Governor General and national hero Sir Joseph Nathaniel France, and Sir Caleb Azariah Paul Quealy.
Hey.
Well, I should say sorry.
I'm here.
You are.
Hi guys.
Thanks for joining us.
And we'll continue with the second story locally. Confusion over inter-primary results to be cleared up at a later date. This from Nevis Pages. There is some apparent confusion over the final tally of scores resulting from the most recently held Gulf Insurance Inter-Primary Sports Meet. The results released on the same night of the mega event were Charlestown Primary 212 points, overall champions, St. Thomas's Primary 168 points, Joycelyn Liburd Primary 168 points, Ivor Walters Primary 91 points, Maud Cross Preparatory 57 points. In the B Division champions, Elizabeth Pemberton Primary 54 points, VOJN 53 points, Nevis Academy combined 34 points, and St. James's Primary 29 points. However, by the following day, information was circulating which indicated that there had been a review of the scores, which ultimately broke the tie between St. Thomas's Primary and Joycelyn Liburd Primary, giving St. Thomas's the edge, and Maud Cross Preparatory School was relegated to second place in the B Division, and Elizabeth Pemberton Primary School once again taking the trophy in that division. There was much outrage from some of the schools, and people alluded to the psychological effect such changes could have on the competing children. Interesting.
Interesting indeed.
I'm happy it's going to be cleared up soon.
Yeah, but the children aren't going to feel good. because they're going to think we had it and now we lost it.
Yes.
You live and you learn. Guess it's a lesson for them too.
Okay.
We continue now with our third story. SKN Media Association President addresses challenges for media workers on World Press Freedom Day. This from Win Media. In a statement from the reinstituted Media Association of St. Kitts and Nevis, President Andre Huey stressed the importance of the needed operationalization of the Freedom of Information legislation passed in 2015. End quote. In St. Kitts and Nevis, we largely enjoy a free press which has seen the proliferation of media entities, digital and traditional, over the last 2 decades. Despite this, however, there are a number of issues that affect the ability of journalists to perform their work freely and effectively, and which deserve urgent attention. The lack of functioning freedom of information legislation, first passed in 2015, is one of these challenges. As such, we join our colleagues at the Media Institute of the Caribbean in the call for the introduction of access to information in an attempt to fight misinformation and disinformation. The sign of a maturing democracy is reflected in the buoyancy of its media and the ability of its citizens and residents to access pertinent public information in a timely manner. The Media Association of St. Kitts and Nevis is confident that the advocacy efforts of our executive team and the call from civil society supported by the Association of Caribbean Media Workers, ACM, will result in the relevant mechanism being put in place to facilitate access to information. This in turn will help provide the framework for an informed public and a dynamic, robust media. We encourage our members to remain steadfast in their work as media professionals and to understand the crucial role we play as the fourth estate in the growing democracy. We wish all our members a happy Press Freedom Day. End quote. So freedom of press and the dissemination of the correct information so the public can be informed correctly.
Yes, and this is critical in war-torn places such as Ukraine and other sites around the world where we know there's conflict.
Yeah, I heard for them still. Every day, all day, pray for them, as I said yesterday as well. So there we have it for the latest in local news. Stay tuned, we will be right back with regional and international news.
Where are you going? I just mopped the floor and now the chair leaving marks all over the place. Come on, go in bed, see? Sometimes I just can't take you on.
Violence is expressed in many ways. Most, unfortunately, go unreported or unaddressed for many reasons. If you or someone disabled is being abused, contact the police at 465-2241, social services at 467-1314, or the St. Kitts Nevis Association of Disabled Persons at 465-2151, 663-9077, or 663-4116. This message was brought to you by the Department of Gender Affairs in collaboration with the Pan American Health Organization, PAHO.
When growing your savings, where you save matters more than you think. Dare to compare and see for yourself why you should start saving and investing at First Federal Credit Union. You don't have to settle for cents. Let your money make sense. Reap a higher return by stashing your cash in a high-yield savings account or term deposit and earn up to 4% interest on your money. At First Federal, we say yes.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. We now continue with the latest in regional news. BVI Premier requests immediate release. Dr. Natalia Whitley set to become BVI's next Premier. This from Win Media. Following his arrest in Miami, Florida, Premier of the British Virgin Islands, BVI, Andrew Foy, has requested his immediate release from federal detention on the grounds of diplomatic immunity, according to a report published by Offshore Alert in the United States District Court. Southern District of Florida on May 2nd. The notice stated that the Premier was seeking the invocation of all rights to immunity under the international and domestic law as the elected and sitting head of government of the British Virgin Islands, a British overseas territory, including immunity from arrest and detention and his immediate and unconditional release from detention by the United States. According to reports, there is no indication that his request has been or will be granted. Premier Foy, the managing director of the BVI Ports Authority, Mistress Olivine Maynard, and her son, Kadeem Maynard, are charged with conspiring to import more than 5 kilos of cocaine into the United States and conspiring to commit money laundering. I don't think they're going to release him. He's going to be lost for a while in prison.
Yes. It was a sting operation that worked.
Well.
And in the international news, report, Supreme Court draft suggests Roe could be overturned, and this from the Associated Press. A draft opinion suggests the U.S. Supreme Court could be poised to overturn the landmark 1973 Roe v. Wade case that legalized abortion nationwide, according to a Politico report. A decision to overrule Roe would lead to abortion bans in roughly half the states and could have huge ramifications for this year's elections. But it is unclear if the draft represents the court's final word on the matter. Opinions often change in ways big and small in the drafting process. Where whatever the outcome, the Politico report late Monday represents an extremely rare breach of the court's secretive deliberation process and on a case of surpassing importance. Roe was egregiously wrong from the start, the draft opinion states. It was signed by Justice Samuel Alito, a member of the court's 6-3 conservative majority, who was appointed by former President George W. Bush. The document was labeled a first draft of the opinion of the court in a case challenging Mississippi's ban on abortion after 15 weeks, a case known as Dobbs versus Jackson Women's Health Organization. So, it's a big uproar in the U.S. Abortion rights are always something that is topical.
Not going away anytime soon in the U.S. Well, there you have it for the latest in today's regional and international news. When we come back, we will be joined by an iconic educator, Mistress Viola Jacobs. Stay tuned.
Hi. If you are a smoker, please pay attention to this message. According to the World Health Organization, there are 1.3 billion smokers in the world today, and tobacco kills 1 out of every 2 smokers. Did you know that there is enough nicotine in 5 cigarettes to kill an average adult if ingested whole? There are more than 7,000 chemicals in tobacco smoke, of which more than 250 are known to be harmful. More than 69 are known to cause cancer, and 16 are classified as Group 1 carcinogens. Smoking kills. Are you ignoring that warning every time you smoke? Please stop. Smoking can lead to severe health complications and even death. It affects almost every organ in the body, especially the lungs and heart. It raises blood pressure, increases blood clots, and increases the risk of stroke, heart attack, and cancer. It is hard to quit smoking, but it is not impossible. Don't let tobacco destroy you. Remember the 4 Ds to curb your tobacco cravings. 1. Delay. Set a time limit before you decide to smoke. 2. Drink water. Go get a drink before you do anything else. 3. Do something else. Have a goodie bag handy of other things to do. And 4. deep breathing. Take at least 10 deep breaths every time you think about smoking. Quit smoking and live a longer and happier life. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health, St. Kitts and Nevis.
No cash, no card, no problem. Dad, embrace the freedom.
Where are you going? I just mopped the floor and now the chair leaving marks all over the place. Come on, go in bed, see? Sometimes I just can't take you on.
Violence is expressed in many ways. Most, unfortunately, go unreported or unaddressed for many reasons. If you or someone disabled is being abused, contact the police at 465-2241, social services at 467-1314, or the St. Kitts Nevis Association of Disabled Persons at 465-2151, 663-9077, or 663-4116. This message was brought to you by the Department of Gender Affairs in collaboration with the Pan American Health Organization, PAHO.
Good morning, this is Carol from Lux Carnival, and I listen to Good Morning SKN.
Today, we have a very special guest. We have the pleasure of speaking with Mrs. Viola Jacobs. Mrs. Jacobs began teaching at the All-Girls High School in 1958. Yes, you heard that right. She taught for 34 years before retiring in 1992. Join us in welcoming Mrs. Jacobs to GMSKN's Looking Back to reflect on how education has developed in St. Kitts and Nevis over the years. Welcome, Mrs. Jacobs.
Welcome, Mrs. Jacobs. Good morning.
And so tell me, what was teaching like when you began in 1958?
Sounds like a long time ago. When I began teaching, well, in those days you didn't train the teachers who taught at Girls High School. I don't know how much training they gave to other teachers, but you left school, they assumed you were bright, quote unquote, and you got a job, you went to teach. So really what you did was what was done to you. Today it is so much better because it's scary leaving school. And in my case, when I went back to teach initially, I taught some of the people I had played with in school because I had moved on a little faster. You know, in those days they used to repeat people. And so it's kind of scary standing up in front of students to teach them, and you were once playing around with them.
Right, so looking back at that, during that time period, was there still that respect then? Because you taught persons who you were friends with. So was there still that respect?
Yes, because I did have the opportunity to attend the girls' high school. And you are too young to know that at the girls' high school we were taught things like respect and honesty and all those values which you read about in Philippians in the New Testament. So you knew to respect, afterwards you could talk and play. Additionally, not everybody had a chance to go to girls' high school. It was by a selection process, and only the best got there. So you didn't have, like today, everybody goes to school. And so you can get all kinds. We had a good student body, and we had a good staff, devoted and hardworking. And it was, remember, the school was only 109, I think it is. That was the maximum I think it got to before it. So it was a small school with cooperation from the head, and the students were generally well behaved.
Okay. So, Ms. Jacobs, what was the selection process like back then to get into grammar school?
Well, let me just clear that grammar school was a school for boys.
Okay. Oh, girls' high school,
Girls'
sorry.
high school.
Okay.
Because education for boys was considered so important that way back in 1862, I think, they started a grammar school.
Okay.
On the other hand, the girls' high school didn't start until 1929 because people, as you know, weren't too interested in educating girls. If you had two children, one was a boy, one was a girl, and you didn't have much money, you would educate the boy.
Okay.
Because, so I went to the girls' high, and my stint at the grammar school was in 1949, which we had. This is a step fast forward. In 1949, they started a sixth form.
Okay.
You now see that as ordinary, but it wasn't ordinary then. And they didn't, I think, have enough money to pay teachers and so on, so you would have a sixth form girls and a sixth form boys.
Okay.
So they joined the girls to the boys. So back then in the sixth form, we had co-education. And I went to the grammar school as well. So I went to girls' high school, and I went on to the sixth form in the, well, even then, that was selection, before I come to the lower part of selection. We used to do something called school certificate. That equates now to O levels. And you had, this was a Cambridge exam from England.
Oh, okay.
Back in those days, it was English education.
Yes, indeed.
And there were, the certificates ranged from grade 1 to 3. Now, to go to the sixth form, you either had to have grade 1 or grade 2. If you got a grade 3, you'd either repeat if you were young enough, or that's it. You would have to, you can't go to the sixth form. So we were, in fact, a privileged few. I'm not saying it's a good thing, and I'm not saying it was a bad thing, but that's how it was.
Yes, so let's...
In the general selection, how you got into girls' high school or grammar school, there was something you must have heard of called the 11 plus exam. And they may even still do it in some of the islands.
Okay.
But it was done in England and Barbados, Trinidad, everywhere. And when you got to 11, a little over 11, there was an examination. And the high schools prepared the examination, and hundreds, literally hundreds of people sat this exam to see if they could get a scholarship. Mind you, there were only a few places, but there were a lot of people wanting this opportunity. And of course, because you have so many people wanting the opportunity, you could cream off the top. So you could pass the exam and still not be allowed to come in, because let's say they had 10 places. You wouldn't get a place if you were number 25.
Right.
Obviously.
Okay, we'll be right back after this short commercial break.
I going out tonight. I got a hot date. He older than me, but I don't care. I like what he telling me. He say I look sweet and ting. What? You want me go home with him? Nice. Boy, I wonder if I'm ready for this. I notice he ain't got a condom, but I gonna go ahead, see? He might think me ain't like him or trust him. Plus, this my first time. Nothing gonna happen to me. Lord, how could I let this happen? I ain't ready for no child. Who can support me and my child? My man gone jail and mommy and daddy said they ain't gonna help. I all on my own. How could I be so careless? I wish I could go back to that now. But my education on hold. How could I let this happen? Don't let this happen to you. Contact the Department of Gender Affairs to find out about confidential offices and personnel available to answer questions about your sexuality or pre- or postnatal concerns.
This message was brought to you by Project Viola through the Department of Gender Affairs with support from the Basic Needs Trust Fund and the Caribbean Development Bank.
If you gradually use less salt, you will gradually want less salt. Eating less salty foods will reduce your cravings for salty foods. Let's get salt smart.
Self-health management refers to the measures people take to manage their own health. You and I should remember to wash hands often with soap and water, or use alcohol-based hand sanitizer. Avoid touching your eyes, mouth, and nose. Take your temperature morning and evening. Watch for symptoms. Persons with diabetes or hypertension are reminded to take your medication regularly as prescribed. If you have no symptoms, you may carry out your normal routine and boost your immune system. When you are outside, avoid public spaces and wear a mask at all times. If you develop symptoms, put on a mask and seek medical care. Do not take public transportation. Inform the doctor of your travel history, any contact with confirmed or suspected cases, your occupation, and whether anyone around you has similar symptoms. If you become ill, please rest at home. Wear a mask and isolate yourself from others in your household. If you share a bathroom, disinfect daily using 1 part bleach to 10 parts water. Everyone must work together to reduce the spread of the coronavirus.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN, and we'll continue our historical discussion with veteran teacher, Mrs. Viola Jacobs, on today's Looking Back. She has already given us a look at some of the aspects of the selection process that has to do with early education in the Federation, and now she's going to transition into the comprehensive education. Mrs. Jacobs, Tell us, what was the difference when we changed over into the comprehensive compared to the selection process that you were just speaking about?
Well, the selection process made many people unhappy because by this time, and this would be 1950s, people were becoming hungry for education because they saw this as the way forward. They saw this as a way to improving their social status and getting better jobs. And let me say that at that time, the society was not as cohesive as it is now. There was the planter class, and the people who went to high school considered themselves special, and then the rest. So people were becoming disgruntled. What is more, all the Caribbean territories, and St. Kitts included, were trying to move forward from colonialism towards independence. That was a journey. And so education, as you will realize, is pivotal in the development of a country. And people were becoming unhappy. And so there was every effort being made to change the quality of the education we were getting at that time.
Right.
And so the then Minister of Education, Mr. Fitzroy Bryant, after whom the college is named, he did a Herculean task in trying to change the way people saw education. And additionally, something that's important, people used to have to pay fees to go to high school.
Yes.
And he thought that for better social justice and for greater development, people should be able to get good education, secondary education, without having to pay for it.
Right. And if I recall, having worked in my previous job, employment, I did some research where I understand that Charles E. Mills, whom the secondary school in Sandy Point is named after, was also instrumental in nudging Fitzroy Bryant in order to go into that direction.
Yes, I think the politicians of the time, because comprehensive education really got started around 1966, I think, with the opening of the Sandy Point High School. And then Bastia. Bastia was difficult because it's so many people. And then you had this Bastia High School, this Bastia Girls High School and Grammar School. And then you have all these, what we call government schools.
Yes.
How are you going to deal with that? And so Mr. Bryant and others, they would have had a committee, decided on a two-tier system. And herein comes the Bastia Junior High School and the Bastia Senior High School. So what they did was to merge the grammar school with the girls' high school and call it the Bastia High School. But those only catered, that merger catered to forms 3, 4, and 5.
So, Mrs. Jacobs, why do you think they separated the boys and the girls and eventually decided to bring them together?
Well, the separation in the beginning that I told you, education was for boys.
Oh, not for girls. Okay.
And then so many years after, they brought an English teacher, Miss Pickard, who did a lot for us.
I know the name.
And she was the one they brought as a missionary to start a school for girls. And you see, so I think in the beginning, this was the efforts of the planters and the English folk to do that. Not that they wanted to keep you apart, but this is how the system evolved.
Okay. So from your point of view, what was the difference between selective secondary education compared to comprehensive secondary?
Well, let me say, I did say we had a two-tier system in Bastille, and you had the junior high, which catered to forms 1 and 2.
Okay.
And that's because there wouldn't have been enough space physically, enough teachers, and so on. And so they had to have something kind of different in Bastille.
Okay. Maybe you can also tell us a bit about the Bastille Junior High School.
Well, that comprised forms 1 and 2.
Right. Okay.
And
did you have a stint there teaching?
Well, yes, not in the early stages. Of course, as I said, I had a girls' high school background. I went off to university and studied. And when I came back, I was back at the girls' high school, where I preferred to be. And over the years, there have been all sorts of little changes, because education is like a living organism. It changes according to the situation, changes over the years, it changes according to the times. It's still changing, thank goodness. It's still changing. And so I didn't have anything really to do with that. And if I am honest, I wasn't interested.
Okay. So then let me ask you another question. Do you think that because we are under a comprehensive education system, do you think in some way this has encouraged students to take education for granted?
Well, it's not the system so much as times have changed. And people see what they have now as being the norm. And they do not realize all the challenges that have gone on from the beginning of time, but let's say from the 1950s. They have no idea of the struggles of the older people, the people who promoted this comprehensive education. They have little idea, and it would be a good thing for them to know. And so I think that they think that, well, these are, we have the right to have this, and we have the right to have that. They don't realize that many people fought, and literally there was a fight, in inverted commas, because when comprehensive education started, some parents didn't agree with it. They wanted their children to go to girls' high school and grammar school and mix with these ordinary folk who just come, as you say, common parlance, you wash your foot and come.
Yes.
No. And I can think of one or two parents who took their children from the high school and sent them abroad. Because they would not want their children to mix. I can also think of some teachers who were quite au fait with this idea. But we were working and we had to do the job. And we were coached. We had meetings until I was tired of meetings, telling us about what it involved and why it was and so on. And so it did work. But today, the opportunities are available, and I really hope that people would not just take it for granted, but embrace the change. It keeps changing, and with the new technology and thanks to COVID, some new... Well, I don't smile, because COVID has given us some positive changes.
So Mrs. Jacobs, we'll delve a little more into that when we come right back after this short commercial break. So don't go anywhere. We'll have more with Mrs. Jacobs.
Consuming foods like bananas, potatoes, and dried peas and beans, such as lentils and kidney beans, contains potassium, which helps to reduce salt in the body.
I wear a mask because I want to protect my child, but also I want to protect his classmates and his teachers.
I wear a mask because I care about the frontline workers who will have to work even harder if those around me get sick.
I wear a mask to protect my family. I wear a mask to protect you. I wear a mask because it is the right thing to do.
I wear a mask because I don't want to put any vulnerable individuals at risk, like my elderly loved ones.
I wear a mask because
we are all in this together.
No cash, no card, no problem. Dad, embrace the freedom.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN, and we have with us Mrs. Viola Jacobs. If you're just joining us, we spoke with her about her 34-year career in education here in St. Kitts and Nevis, and now we are going to be looking back at some of the aspects that we spoke about in terms of the changes that are even happening today, as well as we look at some archive photos of students at the Bastyr High School campus grounds. So, Mrs. Jacobs, let us see if you can recall any of these persons in these photos.
You want to?
we'll bring it up shortly.
You want to tell everybody how old I am. So, then, from the point of view that the memory of some students, I do know them. I you know, faces and so on, but I can't always put faces to names.
That's fine.
Do your best.
Okay, so we'll have here the level class.
O level.
Oh, yes, thank you, Kortensia. O level class of 1967 to 1968. And it's a bit far away from you, Mrs. Jacobs.
And black and white, no?
I suppose that's what the technology afforded at that time and peak time.
But do you remember any of your students from that O-level class, Mrs. Jacobs?
No. Well, I shouldn't say no.
Okay.
But I find it difficult to... And I see some names under there, but I can't even read them.
There's Carmen P. Phipps. There's Barbara P. Prokop. There is Bernard E. Rollins.
I knew Barbara Prokop, but I would know most of them. Certainly they would know me, but and they look so different.
Yes, as we age,
the younger years.
Different.
The hairstyles are different and all that.
Everything has changed. So do you recall any notable persons who you would have taught?
Oh, yeah, lots.
Okay.
But then there's one or two. When I returned from university and taught at Girls High School, I had, after a while, to go over to the grammar school, and the schools were nearby, to teach Latin to the sixth form. Because Latin, not everybody does Latin. I usually say those of us who did it were privileged to be exposed to the classics. And not everybody can digest the classics.
Yes.
But anyway, there was Latin in the sixth form, and they needed a teacher. Well, they had mainly male staff, but they invited me to do it. They didn't invite me, they sent me to work.
Yes.
Go do the Latin over there. In that class, well, more than one class, several sixth form classes, but I did have the privilege of teaching people like Sir Tapley and like Emile Ferdinand, Charles Wilkin, QC.
Nice.
Those Henry Stickumber Brown, no, those were, you know, and see, they wouldn't give any trouble, you know.
That was my next question, were they well behaved?
Oh, they wouldn't give any trouble. Those were grammar school boys, well brought up, and we were doing Latin. And I must, it sounds a bit snobbish, but only the best get to doing Latin at that level.
Okay.
Tell us something in Latin.
Well, what should I tell you?
Be well behaved.
I don't even know what to tell you because everything around you is Latin, though you don't know it. The mottos and the
yes, principia non homines. Yes.
You know. I mean, only recently I translated a certificate from the States that had the certificate person graduated, and it was all in Latin, and a lawyer paid me to translate it for her.
Nice.
So how would you say hi, hello in Latin?
I don't know. Salut.
Salut?
Yeah.
Salut, okay.
Salve, something like that.
Okay.
And remember, it wasn't a spoken language.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. It was
a
dead language.
Yes.
By the time I was, well, you know, the Catholics used it a long time ago and so on. Dead language, but I could write it and I can translate it.
Okay.
You know, even now, you know. Right. But it's, I was, where was I, you know? I've lost my trend of thought.
We were speaking about only the privilege.
You were telling me about, you were asking me about some of the people I've taught. And
yes.
I told you, I taught Latin.
Yes.
But I also taught some people at Bastia High, because I remember I taught in the old system, transition to the new. And so I taught at Bastia High, and I taught people like Hazel Laws, the CMO.
Okay.
You know, she was a lovely student. And I always remember her wanting to be a doctor back down in third form.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay, so that was always her ambition.
Yes, yes.
So what about Beverly A. Thomas, Mrs. Jacobs? Do you remember Beverly Thomas?
I know that name, but I can't put a face to the name right now.
Okay.
No. But I did have, so many people that I had, people like Cameron Wilkinson and so on.
Okay.
All those are part of my student thing. But there's so many, believe me, David Lake and so on. And those are people you will know.
Yeah.
I call the names of people you would know. But there are so many that I have either taught, actually, like in Hazel's case, and in some I interacted with because many of my years were in administration. I was head of school. I was head, although I said I wasn't anxious to go to Bastia Junior High School, I was its principal for 9 years.
There you go.
And so, as principal, you don't really teach class.
You oversee.
You make sure the teachers are teaching and so on. And you see all the naughty students.
We have some more photos here. Maybe we can have a look at some of the other students. Yes, that's the building.
Yes, lovely building. I remember when we moved into that building. The old grammar school was where the St. John's, what is it called? William Connor School is now. And that's where I went to grammar school.
Okay.
That was the grammar school. This was new.
There's another shot of a building here on the other side. Looks like the other campus.
Yes. What happened, and that campus became part of the Bastia High after we had a fire. Where the fire, the school, the girls' high school was on the other side of Victoria Road, where you now have that basketball. A beautiful building because it was a former government house. And Miss Pickard saw to it that we kept it in immaculate condition. The hall floors were polished regularly.
By the students?
Not by the students, not that, but we had to polish our desks. Regularly. And because it was an old government house, it had a lovely lighting and what do you call the thing in the
chandelier?
Middle? Chandelier and so on. I mean, and then some of the class names had to do with being old government house. You know, the council chamber.
They were named.
When we call them that, because that used to be the old government house. So if you were in third form, fourth form was in the council chamber.
Okay.
You know, And you had where the horses' stables were. That was converted into a classroom, so you know horses' stables. And so on. And it was very interesting. The home economics section was downstairs in the basement. You had to go down under, you know. So it was a very interesting, historically, and of course, we had a big mango tree in the yard.
Were students allowed to pick the mangoes?
No, you weren't. But you don't have to ask if people didn't stone the tree and the mangoes.
Yes.
You know, if you were caught,
problem.
That's a different matter.
Yes.
But you would have to catch me throwing them to stone. You know, I have to confess that I never did that. No, it seemed to me infra-dig to stone mangoes. You see, so we were taught that some of us grew up with certain ideas.
Yes.
And I don't think you would find the older students stoning the mangoes. But when you came in and you were young, I had a sister who was caught stoning mangoes. And we have a mango tree. But it is
and it was a different breed.
No, I think it's your age and you become adventurous. As you grow, you turn into a young lady. And a young lady does not stone mangoes.
Okay. So, Mrs. Jacobs, it's been quite interesting talking to you. You've brought quite a bit of history to us and given us insight as to what it was like several decades ago. And you've also compounded the fact that education is important, and there were ones before us who fought for comprehensive.
To get us to where we are now.
To get us to where
and
we
may
are
I
now.
add that St. Kitts was the first territory to implement comprehensive education, so we didn't have to pay fees. So many other islands continued with the 11 plus, and many have come to St. Kitts to ask, how did you do it? Because there wasn't enough economic or physical resources, but we did it nevertheless.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Jacobs. And viewers, you've been told about another first for St. Kitts and Nevis, as well as been given a history lesson. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this short commercial break.
The continued fight against COVID-19 requires the continued practice of public health measures across all sectors and in every community. Frequent and proper hand washing, wearing face masks, and physical distancing. Do you know who is not physical distancing? The Aedes aegypti mosquito. Let's avoid overloading our healthcare systems. This means simultaneously protecting yourselves and your loved ones from all disease, including mosquito-borne illness like dengue fever, Zika, and chikungunya viruses. Did you know that dengue is the most common mosquito-borne viral disease in the world? So let's get to work. Use window and door screens to keep mosquitoes out. Change the water in vases and scrub inside surfaces to remove mosquito eggs. Avoid using saucers with potted plants to prevent collection of water. Securely cover water barrels and drums with mosquito netting and properly fitted covers. Scrub the inside walls of water barrels and drums with detergent 1 to 2 times per week. Walk around the outside of your home and remove or overturn containers that can collect water and become breeding sites. Mosquitoes only need a small amount of water to lay their eggs. Remove unwanted cans, bottles, buckets, or used tires. Other items still in use must be properly stored in covered areas to avoid water settling in them. Clean roof gutters and air conditioner trays. Debushing and removing tall grass from around your home or establishment is also key to reducing mosquito populations. To decrease your risk of being bitten by infected mosquitoes, use proven personal protective methods too. Apply an effective mosquito repellent to exposed areas of skin according to manufacturer's instructions. Wear light-colored long pants and shirts while outdoors in the early morning and late afternoons. Further, protect vulnerable family members like pregnant women, children, the elderly, and persons who are unwell by using mosquito nets to sleep or rest, even during the day. Fight the bite and protect yourself and your family too from mosquito-borne diseases. This message is brought to you by the Pan American Health Organization, Office for Barbados and the Eastern Caribbean countries.
Has anyone ever touched you here? here, or here? Well, these are actually bad touches, not good ones. And so, if anyone ever touches you in these areas or anywhere else that makes you uncomfortable, you must say no, then go and tell. Say it with me. Say no, then go and tell.
This message was brought to you by the Department of Gender Affairs in collaboration with Probation and Child Protection Services, the Ministry of Health, and the Pan American Health Organization.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. We just wrapped up an insightful discussion with Ms. Viola Jacobs, a stalwart figure in education here in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. Now it's time to loosen up. Alicia and I are going to share some of our most memorable experiences from our school years.
You want to begin?
What are some of my memorable experiences? Yep. So from kindergarten, as I was discussing the other day with Jamie, was the Yellow Bird scenario when my mom had to make me this yellow dress and you sang the song Yellow Bird. That was kindergarten. Grade 1, I can actually see my old primary school. That's back in Ghana. You just run around and play. I think standard 1 is when, which would be grade 3 here, is when I really got serious because my mom wasn't playing and she knew common entrance, as we call it in Ghana, was like 3 years above. So it wasn't bad. And then I went to high school and I was always a kid that came first. So when I went to high school and I came fourth, I was like afraid to go home because first is the option. But then my mom, she calmed that fear and she said, you're in high school now, there are kids from all walks of life. Exactly. So now you have competition and you still did well, you came fourth. So yeah, and then I moved to St. Kitts. Then I went to the junior high before going to the Bastyr High School. And yeah, I have fond memories of there. I remember when I first joined school here, it was so different that most of the kids, they wore tights under their skirt, so I had a slit. So one day I was doing something and my skirt fell. And I was a laughing stock of the class, of course, because I didn't know any different. But then as we proceeded on, I would say school was good. Although I always say I need some do-overs because the kids have, I would say, better opportunities. To me, our teaching was a bit more stern, which turned out well because we are the rounded individuals that we are today.
Yes, but we had kids, more discipline.
Yeah, they seem a bit more laid back. And maybe I feel in some areas like they don't take education as seriously as we did. But I was wondering if it's because we had a fat belt that used to be walking behind us all the time, either in the hands of, well, mostly in the hands of Mr. Vaughn.
Right.
Yeah.
I think for me, my time in school was varied. Certain patches of it is like too far away to remember, but I would have begun in Antigua.
Okay.
Then I had a short stint in Montserrat.
Moved around.
Then I was sent back home to St. Kitts. And so I think the part that I recall the most vividly was St. Kitts. Yes. Okay. I think what happened, one thing that stood out for me in Montserrat is a weird thing to stand out. I remember having a hard ball on my leg. So I remember going to school and having to sit on the leg and being very uncomfortable. I remember singing, because I've always loved singing. I remember in Montserrat there was a fantastic choir, school choir. I remember that. Coming back home to St. Kitts, it was about grade 2. So that was like the most memorable time for me. So I remember some of my early teachers. I remember one we called Miss Smith. She's now Mrs. Fox.
Okay.
So I still recall seeing her and going through her class, Mrs. Liebert. I remember starting French class, and I remember the teachers that we made cry.
No, why though?
Because we weren't that well behaved.
Oh, okay. So it started from your generation.
Well, I guess it's there were certain teachers, and I'm going to venture to say her name. My class made Miss Lake. So I went to the convent school, now the Immaculate Conception. So it was nothing.
Fusion again, right there.
Nothing like it was.
Okay.
It wasn't anything like it is today.
No, yeah.
Right. Much less concrete, of course.
Oh, what buildings we had.
So my class was given our reputation was that we were not the best. So we took delight in annoying teachers. So one day she was simply annoyed to the point where she cried.
So lashes weren't shared then?
Yes, but her personality was such that she was very gentle and kind. Still is today. Hi, Miss Lake.
Okay.
Right? So it was like, sometimes children, when they realize that is the case, they push the buttons. We pushed her buttons.
So what was the punishment like in school?
It was up to the principal. So
Okay.
it was up to the principal.
Because with us, we had to either kneel down in the corner. We wore a dunce hat, which I think had effects on certain people because I don't think the teachers then understood that you calling a child a dunce actually has an effect on them.
Psychologically.
Yeah,
definitely.
They thought it was done to make us act better or be better, but I think some people actually took on the role of becoming the dunce and not caring.
Sometimes it says speak it into being.
Yeah.
And that definitely
cool.
is not a good thing. In terms of punishment, we used to get lashes from
principal?
At first, the teacher. So depending on the strength of the teacher, Miss Lake could not give lashes.
It's like, in your next lifetime, give them plenty lashes.
So,
She was really gentle. She was really gentle.
But I must say, I used to be elected to be the prefect. So I was the one who would have to get up and apologize and ask everybody else to be toned down, which oftentimes did not work because they're your peers. But I always, for some reason, was relegated to that type of role as being the one to implement some sort of discipline.
Do you feel that the kids behave that way because their parents were paying and they thought they were entitled somehow?
I'm not sure if that was the case or we were just being kids.
Okay.
We were just being kids.
Okay.
And sometimes children, when they see an opportunity, they take it. And I think that was the case.
When you're not stirring
And there were certain teachers we were afraid of. I remember the late Andrew Weeks. How the school is situated. The office is like at a level, or used to be, not today. The office used to be at a level above, and so the principal could stand in the office door and look down and see what was going on. But our math teacher was Mr. Andrew Weeks, and Mr. Weeks, he left. We were unattended for a short period of time, so we had somebody at the door to guard. So we thought everything was good, and then suddenly he backed around the corner. So the guard was like, Weeks! So everybody's scrambling back to their desk and everything. And Mr. Weeks came before the guard could finish what he was saying. So the guard said, months. And the timing of that, right? Kortensia may not get it, but the timing, because he was trying to disguise the fact that he was the guard and warning everybody that the teacher was coming, and the name was Weeks, and all he could say was months.
So folks, can you tell us about your experience in school as we just spoke about ours? We ask that you stick and stay. We will be right back after this brief commercial break.
ever hear Earthquake call and say, "Hello, Miss Lee, yes, it's me, Earthquake, I come in Tuesday around 10? No, sir. Earthquake does arrive unannounced, and when it come, it shake all sense and sensibility out of we. Remain calm, stay inside, and do the DCH. Drop, cover, hold on. Once the shaking starts, you know it's earthquake. Make a quick move to a safe place. Don't run to the door, we are in the exit. Stairs might block up or full of people. Elevator, avoid that, because you might get in and poof, power gone, and you're stuck in that box without ear. Take cover under a strong table or a bed, or crouch against an inside wall or in a corner, and cover your face and your head with your arms. Remember, DCH, drop, cover, hold on. Glass windows and doors, outside walls and doors in an earthquake, bad news. Take care yourself. Most injuries during earthquakes happen when something drop and hit people entering or exiting a building. Last thing, don't want to run outside and ask, you feel it, you feel it? Remain calm, stay indoors until all the shaking stop, and do the DCH, drop, cover, hold on.
I wear a mask because I want to protect my child, but also I want to protect his classmates and his teachers.
I wear a mask because I care about the frontline workers who will have to work even harder if those around me get sick.
I wear a mask to protect my family. I wear a mask to protect you. I wear a mask because it is the right thing to do.
I wear a mask because I don't want to put any vulnerable individuals at risk, like my elderly loved ones.
I wear a mask because
we are all in this together.
As a hypertensive patient, in my home, I reduce salt intake by not adding salt during the preparation of my food, not having a salt shaker on my table, limiting the consumption of salty snacks, and choosing products with low sodium content. That's why I am salt smart.
When growing your savings, where you save matters more than you think. Dare to compare and see for yourself why you should start saving and investing at First Federal Credit Union. You don't have to settle for cents. Let your money make sense. Reap a higher return by stashing your cash in a high-yield savings account or term deposit and earn up to 4% interest on your money. At First Federal, we say yes.
Salt is an important part of the human diet, but most of us consume more than we realize.
And we're back on Good Morning SKN. The Chop Shop Salon and Spa is, according to its Facebook page, a full-service beauty salon dedicated to consistently providing high customer satisfaction by rendering excellent service, quality products, and furnishing an enjoyable atmosphere at an acceptable price. The Chop Shop recently launched a branch in Nevis. To tell us all about it, we warmly welcome the owner of the Chop Shop, Seema Zahini. Good morning.
Morning.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me here.
So why did you expand to this style of Nevis, Seema?
You know, it was a very natural thing for us because friendly Nevisians form a considerable chunk of our loyal clientele in St. Kitts.
Okay.
And they keep coming back and forth. And, you know, as a woman, if I'm going to a salon, it's either to feel relaxed and rejuvenated or even for a special occasion. And the last thing I want to do is be in a rush to get back on the ferry and come back. And we got this request over and over again from a lot of our loyal clients that came back and forth. It's a lot of work, you know, just going back and forth, and you've got your hair done and the wind's blowing through that. So we decided to take, this was a natural thing for us to take our service one step closer to them.
Okay.
Okay. Is there anything unique at this new location, or is it the same types of services as in St. Kitts?
You know what? It's a two-sided, like a coin. You know, it's got two answers to this. It's the same services for sure, because we try keeping the same standard. It's like a brand that we want to make sure that every single place has the same standard, the same kind of services, the same staff, everything is identical. However, when we first opened up our first location, it was pretty much on a whim. When we did our second location, it was with our intent to establish. And third one's definitely a charm. So we're looking forward to doing that. Yes.
Okay. So where exactly in Nevis would this new chop shop be located?
Okay, we are right next to Value Mart in Farms Estate.
Okay.
SLH Hospice Complex.
Centralized.
Yes, very centralized, and there's massive parking, so you don't have to worry about that.
Okay, cool. So tell us about the positions available. We understand there's some availability.
Yes, there is. A few of our positions have already been filled up by some of the locals that we've hired. But you know, we are a growing company, and as you know, for growth, the most crucial factor is human resources. So keeping in mind that whatever is our growth trajectory, if we get to that point, then we would be adding more positions as time goes by. So eventually, whatever requirements we have, we'll keep posting it on Facebook.
Great. What about the look, though? Is it the same sort of aura, the atmosphere, once you get inside the doors? Is the setup similar, or is it a bit
You know, this is why you need to come in and come and take a look at it. That's the big surprise.
I have been to the one
This is our largest location, hon. This is our largest location. It's bigger than St. Kitts that we have in both the ends here.
In Port Zante and
Royal.
at Royal?
Yes, it's larger than that. And needless to say, you know, with more experience comes more ideas. We put in a little bit more effort because we know a little bit more than what we knew 2 years back. So come take a look for it. Personally, you got to come see it and then decide for yourself.
Okay.
But you will enjoy it. I promise you'll enjoy it.
I have a few favorite persons at the chop shop.
Sure.
Jessie being my wax tech.
She's
and
one
Amy.
of my favorites too. Although all of them are.
And Amy with my nails.
Yes, yes.
So can I trust that my girls will remain here, or do I have to share them with Nevis?
No, you don't have to. I can't lose my existing clients at this point of time because it's you folks who got me to the point where I'm able to open in Nevis. So I definitely am keeping all my old staff here.
Okay.
Jessie's my main manager, so she goes back and forth. She assists me even here. She goes between the two locations.
Okay.
However, the team that is up there right now and that's going to be working on the new clients that we have there, they have been working in St. Kitts for a bit. It was like a training session that they had.
Okay.
So they are aware of what the expectations are, what the clients want, all of that. You won't feel any difference. Except they're just new faces and new names.
And a bigger space.
Okay.
I gotta look Nevis and check that one out.
Okay. You mentioned that some of them are local persons from Nevis.
Yes.
How is the training going? Because there has to be some sort of
Yes.
training.
They are coming back here. One of them has been coming to Royal Chop Shop regularly, also to the Port Zante location. So she's aware of how the back end is, how our services on the software, how do you work around that, all of that. So it's getting there. It's still work in progress. We do have some teething issues at this point of time, but I guess that's like having a new business and like a new baby. You know, every time you think that you got everything done, then you remember another 10 things that you haven't gotten covered. So we're getting there.
Okay, great.
So what is the most popular service you would say at the chop shop?
You know, it's very hard for me to point out to one particular service and say this is more popular than the other.
Okay.
It totally depends on the age group and the gender. But generally, we've noticed women love doing manicures, pedicures, facials, hair. And surprisingly enough, you know, a lot of times guys ask me, do guys get services? I'm like, yes, they do. Pedicures and massages are very popular with the guys. I mean, you know, you stand on those feet all day long. So you got to make sure that you take care of them. So be massages, pedicures for the guys, and facials, manis, pedis, hair for the women, even waxing. Why did I miss out on that? Waxing, yes.
And tell us about the experience of threading, because I had it done the other day, and it was not as scary as some persons may
It isn't.
think.
It isn't. You know what? When the last time we won the show, Jamie asked me the same question, and I said it's very simple and easy. It's actually a very ancient Asian method that they use. It's better than just shaving or better than just trying to pluck, because when you pluck, sometimes your hair stays back in the follicle.
Yeah.
So what you do is you sit back, look at the ceiling, think of something pleasant for the next 2 minutes, and we use a thread, and the thread basically grips the hair in one line and it takes it off. So it's very precise, precision. It's not something that everybody can do. It comes with a certain amount of years of experience. So there are few people who do it in the salon, but they're very well experienced, and it frames your face perfectly. You do threading once, you aren't going back to anything else. I promise you that. You got to try it once, just once.
Try it once, and then that's
Yes,
same thing with waxing for me.
Yes, same thing with waxing, of
Can't
course,
go
for
back to
sure.
shaving. Or,
because you don't want to feel the stubble, you know what I mean? I don't want to go into glory details here. Yes.
So it's Shima. We'll be right back with you, viewers. Very interesting discussion, and you'll want to find out more about the Chop Shop in Nevis. We'll be right back.
Everyone is encouraged to adopt a healthy and positive approach to daily life. Here are a few friendly reminders.
When you go to the local market and food vendors, remember to maintain a social distance of 6 feet or 2 meters apart, and always wear your mask.
Always keep your hands clean. Wash your hands with soap and water, or use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer.
When dining, choose restaurants with staggered seating. This will lower the risk of transmission.
If you have a fever, cough, or other respiratory symptoms, please wear a mask and seek medical care immediately. Rest at home and do not visit the food vendors, local markets, or restaurants.
You see that new boy that just joined the school last week? He brought me a chocolate this morning because I showed him the way home from school yesterday.
You like him?
No, he's just my friend. Plus, he is my neighbor. He asked me if we can walk home together for lunch tomorrow, and I told him yes.
I don't like these big boys. They tend to like to touch girls without your consent.
What do you mean by consent?
It's when one person agrees to give permission to another person to do something.
He is cute though.
Guys, you won't believe what happened the other day with the new boy from school.
What happened?
The other day, while walking home with the new guy, he followed me into my house. I thought it was okay because he seemed friendly and respectful. So I turned on the TV and offered him a soda. We sat in the chair together. Then he leaned over and kissed me. I was so shocked, I sat up straight and asked him why he did that. He said he thought I liked him. I told him not in that way.
What? Girl, you should have never allowed him inside your parents' home.
My parents will be very angry if they meet any boys in our home plus kissing me.
Guys, we don't need to be burdened down with teen pregnancy and relationship problems at this time. Boys need to understand that girls are not sex objects.
Remember, you have the right to consent to every activity being performed, from holding hands to anything more, and to change your mind at any time. If your partner does not respect your wishes, this also is a form of abuse. If you, your friend or family member is being abused, you can contact one of the numbers listed below for help. Department of Gender Affairs 662-5492, Special Victims Unit 662-7077, Counseling Unit 465-5000. This message was brought to you by the Department of Gender Affairs in collaboration with the Ministry of Health and the Pan American Health Organization.
各位朋友，大家好. Greetings, my lovely people. I'm Chantel, residing in Taiwan. 12 hours time difference. It's nighttime here, morning time in SK. I'm busy and on the go. However, I always manage to keep up to date with what's happening in SK. All thanks to Good Morning SKN. Good morning SKN. Ciao bango.
Alice is yours.
We are speaking with the owner of the Chop Shop Salon and Spa, Shima Shahani. Shima?
Yes.
We're going to continue talking
Sounds
about...
good.
Leave it. So, is the Chop Shop offering any Mother's Day specials? Nevis here?
Yes, we have the same specials that we have in St. Kitts, also in Nevis. We open doors on Saturday, the 7th of May, and I understand that we can't accommodate everybody at that same point of time. So we have gift vouchers for all those people which are valid all the way until September end. So should you want to treat your mom, we have two amazing packages. Moms, I think, are very overworked and tired most of the time with kids, you know, running after the kids and all. So physically, we have something that will entice them. A massage. It's a 1-hour full body massage, very rejuvenating, along with a pedicure, a classic pedicure. And that is going to be $295 EC. And the other one that we have is, again, a pedicure and a 45-minute full body massage. That's for a busy mom who doesn't have enough time on her hand, even on Mother's Day. And that's $225 EC. But other than that, we have other specials that keep going on. If you get onto our Facebook pages, we do daily specials. Sometimes we run extra specials. We have like a new offer now for birthday. Let's say if you turn 20, you get a 20% discount. But you need to make sure that you bring in your ID and come in on the same date of your birthday.
Okay.
Yes, not to show up a day before, a day later. The idea is we want you to come and celebrate with us, and we want to make it exciting for you. So if you're turning 25, you get a 25% discount. The older you are, the better it gets.
So does 50 mean 50%?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Even we had the other day we had a lady who turned 78 and she got a 78% discount. Pretty much paid nothing.
Nothing on her service. That's nice.
Yes.
That is nice.
So for Mom's Day, we have these two exciting packages, and I think all moms love massages and pedicures.
Seema, when I think of Chop Shop, I think of a place where something is chopped up.
Yes.
So why did you choose the name Chop Shop?
You know, it's funny. We were just deciding what should we name this location, unusual. And at that point of time, my tagline says, "Love is in the hair." It was a new business. I was not sure which way I was gonna go more towards. What is it that people would want more often? So as we've gone through these years, we've realized that there are other services that people lean towards, but the Chop Shop option came from chop, chop, chop.
Oh, hair.
Love is in the hair. Chop, chop, chop.
Okay.
Although we do hair, but we are doing a lot of other services also.
So the hair
now.
was
So
the
that's
inspiration.
Yes, the hair was the inspiration.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, cool.
So what can you tell us about the growth of your business over the years?
You know, I would say that we are very blessed, and people have been very welcoming, very warm, and they have helped us grow. We started off in 2007 in Port Sante, 2014 in Port Sante. And then we had a lot of people from Frigate Bay who were coming back and forth to port, so we expanded that. It wasn't something that was so well planned, but it just happened. And as we've grown along now, like I told you, a lot of Nevisians go back and forth, and the right thing for us to do was to take the services to them. So this is our third location there.
I like how you make customers your number one priority.
Oh, absolutely, certainly. And I always tell this to my team. The customers keep us in business. If you don't walk through the door, I don't do anything. I could do all I want, but if you don't walk through the door, I don't do anything. So we definitely value customer and customer service utmost importance.
Okay, cool. So how can someone book a service?
Okay, so there are multiple options. My WhatsApp number is on the cards, 869-763-6071. You can WhatsApp me. You can WhatsApp Jessie on 760-2616. You can get onto our Facebook page, and there is a book now option, a button there. You hit the button and it takes you to our software where you can book yourself. So if you choose to book yourself at 2 in the morning, you have an option. You can call our landlines. You could email us, or you could send us a Facebook message, whatever works for you. And we try responding within a few hours, even if I start checking my messages first thing in the morning. So if you send me something in the night, you will hear back from me in the morning.
Yeah, I must say Jessie's good with that, because even if I didn't get onto her, that's it. She's just
she is. She's very prompt.
Yeah. So those are my favorite people. And also Tony.
Yes.
Oh, I love Tony on my toes. Yeah.
Tony's very good with the pedicures. Have you tried his massage yet? He's very good with massages too.
I just do the toes between Tony and Amy.
Okay.
And I strictly stick to Jessie and my waxes.
You're not the only one, Kortensia, because there are a lot of clients that come in and they all have their particular favorites. It's a very personalized feeling. So I totally get it when you want to have that service with that one particular person.
Everybody's good, as you said, but you just have your person.
Yes, of course. I get that. But thank you for bringing up their names. I'm sure they'll feel very flattered. Thank you.
Okay, so walk us through a spa experience. I come through the door. And what's the first thing I should expect? I made a booking for a full body massage, and I come through the door.
Okay.
What's the next step?
As soon as you walk in, you will be attended to with a cold towel, because when you walk in from the heat, that's what first thing that bothers you. It's cooling. So you come have a seat there. We'll probably offer you a drink if you're not in a rush, if you want to have a tea, coffee, any kind of beverage. And after that, our massage therapist will take you into the room. We try keeping the rooms very quiet, very serene, with nice soft music. We use different essential oils. It's a very good experience. Like you mentioned, let's say if it's a massage, it's a great experience because my massage therapists are all very well experienced. And once you're done with the massage, we give you some time to get changed, because you don't want to just jump off the bed right away. So we give you a few minutes to relax and unwind and get changed. Should you want to we have an option to do couples massage as well. And we have a shower right there. So if you want, you can come in, do a couples massage. And not necessarily it has to be a spouse or a partner. I mean, sometimes girls come in together and they do it together, the two of them together. We have the shower right there. We have a jacuzzi in Frigate Bay. So you could use those services. Once you're done, again, we offer you a tea, because it's relaxing after a massage. If you want, you can have a tea, coffee, whatever you like. We even have a massage chair in all our locations. So if you're not done doing the massage, feel free to sit right in the chair.
Because during the pedi, you just press the massage button and you just enjoy all of that. Or even while you wait, if your tech is not ready, once you get in and they offer you a drink, the massage chair is right there that you can relax in.
You'd be surprised. Sometimes people get their massages and they're like, we don't need that chair anymore now.
And they had the real thing.
Yeah.
Okay, that's very interesting. So in closing, just remind us again how persons can book.
So you could call us on our WhatsApp numbers. You could get onto our Facebook page, send us a message there. Instagram, send us a message there. You could call our landline numbers, which are listed on our Facebook page. Or you could reach out to me, Jessie, at any given point of time. We are here. And the last option is, if you are savvy by using Facebook and online booking, there's a book now option there. So just hit the button and it'll take you to the website and you can book.
Well, Seema, it was a pleasure, a spa pleasure, I should
say.
Thank you.
Thank
Speaking
you so
to you,
much.
and congratulations on your opening of the Nevis branch.
Thank you.
definitely call my friends and say, go check it out for me, and then I'll come over there, okay?
Thank you so much. I look forward to seeing the two of you.
Yes,
No problem.
I need to pass by too.
Yes, you need to. That's right, you need to.
I need to.
Yeah. So ladies and gents, stay with us. We will be right back after this brief break.
Let's face it, most parents or guardians don't want to think about their teens having sex, let alone contemplate the possibility that they might get pregnant or get someone pregnant. Teenage pregnancy is a situation that involves female adolescents. A teenage female can be pregnant as early as age 12 or 13, although it is usually 14 and older. The fact that teenagers become pregnant is related to many factors. Here are some tips to decrease teen pregnancy. Teach teenagers comprehensive sex education. Target messages at teen boys, not just girls. Get the whole community involved. Encourage mentoring, parental involvement, and support. This message was brought to you by Project Viola through the Department of Gender Affairs with support from the Basic Needs Trust Fund and the Caribbean Development Bank.
Did you know that there are certain seasonings that contain more salt than you actually need? There are more natural, healthier ways to reduce the salt intake in your dishes by using natural things like onions, garlic, seasoned peppers, and even thyme and merengue powder.
Has anyone ever touched you here, here, or here? Well, these are actually bad touches, not good ones. And so, if anyone ever touches you in these areas or anywhere else that makes you uncomfortable, you must say no, then go and tell. Say it with me. Say no, then go and tell.
This message was brought to you by the Department of Gender Affairs in collaboration with Probation and Child Protection Services, the Ministry of Health, and the Pan American Health Organization.
Children, how can you tell a tsunami coming?
Teacher me.
Sammy?
My mother said when uncle jump in the pool and the water spoosh out, that's how you tell a tsunami coming.
Settle down, children, settle down. Do you remember our tsunami song?
Yes!
Mommy, Uncle not here in the other shake.
Hush your mouth.
Daddy, Uncle not here and the sea gone.
Who cares? You don't see all them free fish? Quick, give me the bag.
This is how you tell a tsunami I come. Teacher says so. I would have failed in school, you know.
Sammy, come, let me go. They would have failed anyhow. Let me run, see, Sammy.
Greetings, my lovely people. I'm Chantel, residing in Taiwan. 12 hours time difference. It's nighttime here, morning time in SK. I'm busy and on the go. However, I always manage to keep up to date with what's happening in SK. All thanks to Good Morning SKN. Good morning SKN. Ciao, bango!
When growing your savings, where you save matters more than you think. Dare to compare and see for yourself why you should start saving and investing at First Federal Credit Union. You don't have to settle for cents. Let your money make sense. Reap a higher return by stashing your cash in a high-yield savings account or term deposit and earn up to 4% interest on your money. At First Federal, we say yes.
Most people consume excess salt from processed foods, such as snack foods, processed meats, instant meals, and condiments.
Instead, use fresh vegetables, ground provision, fresh meats, and natural herb seasonings, just like our grandparents did, and just like you did with this soup. We are salt smart.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. And if Jamie were here, and I must say, Jamie, all the best with your studies. That's why I'm replacing Jamie this morning.
I'm still going to win.
Several mornings ahead. So I'm not the permanent host, but I'm just the temp. You know, like
filling in for Jamie.
When you have a temp and everybody misbehaves, I'm the temp. So today, we'll be playing a very popular online game called Wordle. Here's how it works. We have 6 tries to guess the day's secret word. Each guess must be a valid 5-letter word. After each guess, the color of the tiles will change to show how close your guess was to the word. If the letter turns green, then it's in the correct spot. If the letter turns yellow, then it's in the word, but not in the right spot. If the letter turns gray, it's not in the word at all. Then it's not in the word. So let's begin, Kortensia. It's my first time. It's your first time.
Yeah. So you want to begin? You can give them a nice vowel.
Okay. Let's try chair. I've got 2 greens.
Look at that.
Which means they're in the right spot. The R is not in the right spot.
Ooh la la. So, braids. Raids. R-A-I-D-S. No. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
So that means you have some of the letters. So the word that we're looking at has in R and it has in A and I, but it's just the A and I are in the correct spot.
Remember, they're not in the correct spot. They're just... They're not in the correct spot. Remember, the yellow mean they're not in the correct...
No, I'm saying the A and I, they're green.
Yeah, so that means we have to get the A and I. Oh my God.
In that spot.
Yeah.
But the R...
What word could that be though?
Is not in the correct spot. So,
there's no S in the word.
There's no... Let me try another word then.
Oh my God.
Right. R. Oh.
No.
R.
Braids. Braid. Or brain.
Oh.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's the word. Brain.
But it's not. It doesn't have a B and it doesn't have a D.
Oh, it doesn't have B.
B or D. But the R, the A, and the I are in the correct spot. Oh, this is... Train?
Could be.
Tell me it's train.
Yay! Hey! Kortensia got it.
Finally! That was rough! That was rough! So it's no plural, so I can't put any S. Once again, that's the reminder. Oh, man.
Okay, so how was that for the first try?
Rough.
Yeah, it was rough. It's kind of hard.
Yeah.
But now that we know that all the green, well, we should have known from the start, but it makes more sense now actually doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And well, at least getting one correct so we know what we can do
what
next.
we can try next. So your turn to guess a word to start.
Can I just guess a letter? Or do you need me to do a whole word? Okay, so can I say light?
Okay. Oh, the I is in the correct place.
Can I say tight?
My turn.
Oh, sorry. I'm too excited.
How about F? G. No, it can't be fight either because the T is T-I-L. T.
No, H.
K. Right, it's not H, it's M. M-O-L. Mick. Let me just say any word then, because I can't think of an M-I word, so I'll try something with I.
Might? No. Mint? Mango?
I'm lost. Mint. No S?
No, he didn't put it in yet. This is rough, boy.
S.
Oh my god.
S-I-M.
Oh wow.
S-I-M.
Oh.
Ready, just to get another word. E-A-D-Y. Okay, so it also has in an E and a Y.
And a Y. Years? Years? Ooh.
Okay, so
Terry. Ooh.
Okay.
Oh my god, this is rough. This is so rough.
Okay, let me try again.
This is so, oh my gosh, this is making you think.
Yeah.
I wonder how the viewing audience is doing because we can't figure this out. 60?
Oh.
Oh my gosh, look at that.
It's in the correct order.
Look at that, it's in the correct order, except there's no S and there's no X. 50? 80.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's it. Oh, the G is not there.
No, G is not there. Oh my god. E-N, who else is missing?
Can't be T. D.
Eerie? Fiery? No, there's no R. 50? Oh no.
No, it's not that either. Okay, they won.
Oh.
So what's the answer?
Piety.
What?
Piety, piety.
Oh,
how is it pronounced?
Piety.
Piety. Ladies and gents, sorry, this
Yes.
game
It's not
was
an easy
rough.
game.
Jamie, I didn't win today, although I was boasting about winning. So I hope our viewing audience did better than us. But you know, a friend of mine told me that I should start playing this. And if I had to start playing this, I would have been boss. So you know, I'm gonna start playing Wordle now.
I hadn't even heard of it.
Yeah, she keeps telling me and I'm like, no, that's enough. Yeah. So ladies and gents, we'll be right back after this break. Stay tuned.
No cash, no card, no problem. Jad, embrace the freedom.
Everyone is encouraged to adopt a healthy and positive approach to daily life. Here are a few friendly reminders.
When you go to the local market and food vendors, remember to maintain a social distance of 6 feet or 2 meters apart. And always wear your mask.
Always keep your hands clean. Wash your hands with soap and water or use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer.
When dining, choose restaurants with staggered seating. This will lower the risk of transmission.
If you have a fever, cough, or other respiratory symptoms, please wear a mask and seek medical care immediately. Rest at home and do not visit the food vendors, local markets, or restaurants.
And we're back on with our final segment here on Good Morning SKN, where we let you know what's happening. So we'll start with our first event, President's Cup. The Football President's Cup is back and it will kick off tonight, Wednesday the 4th May from 7 p.m. at Warner Park. Spectators at the match will witness the clash of two titans, the SL Horsford St. Paul's and St. Peter's FC. However, at the end of the game, only one team will be lifting this prestigious cup. Admission is as follows. Adults, $10, children with school IDs, $5, and children 12 and under are free. So it's a family event, so you can go out. Entertainment will be provided by EK, The Real Right, DJ Sugar Bowl, and a live performance by Mr. Mention. The halftime show will be powered by Infamous. So go out and witness this much anticipated match. And I know petitions love a bad football.
And the thing
I have to
is,
go in the dialect.
even if you're not into football, you can
just
go for the
lime,
entertainment.
right? For the lime.
So there'll be stuff to listen to, stuff to do. So
yeah,
go on out. And also on what's happening, we have Panagramma preliminaries. We have spoken with Nevin Roach, the founder of Panorama. And guess what? The preliminary competition will begin this Friday, the 6th of May, and will end on Sunday, the 8th of May. This year's competition is set to feature 27 panelists from a total of 11 countries around the world. One of these panelists is Aaron Mentos, who we also featured here on GMSKN. Aaron is the first panelist to represent the Federation in Panagramma, and he will be making his debut on the night of the 3rd. On the 3rd night, that's night 3, on the 8th of May, and he'll be playing the song Boot Up by LMA. So viewers, do tune in to this virtual prelims from the 6th to the 8th of May on the Panagramma Facebook page. That's something exciting.
It's a big thing. So he's going to be playing the famous song.
So pan enthusiasts and music enthusiasts in general, here's an opportunity for you to listen to some great pan music on Facebook.
Big tunes. Karaoke, as we say. Carry your own key. The Truth Restaurant will be hosting a karaoke night tonight, Wednesday, the 4th May, starting at 8 p.m. There will be free finger food and deals available on specific beverages. If you didn't know, Truth Restaurant is located in Port Zante, opposite the taxi stand. So if you're looking to have some fun tonight, go out to Truth and enjoy the karaoke. So have you ever sung karaoke?
Once. Yeah, once.
Okay.
And it was fun because, you know, you go, you choose your song.
And carry your own key. That's the whole point of karaoke.
And karaoke, right. So in other words, because it's not something that has to be perfect.
Perfect, yes.
But although there were some people there who I knew practiced.
No, some people are just good, you know. Some people are just good. Imagine Mimi at a karaoke and a few others, they sing very well because they're just natural born singers.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then we also have one final notice. It's pertaining to plant importation requirements. And the Department of Agriculture wishes to advise and remind the general public that, and businesses, that you are required to obtain a plant import permit from the Department of Agriculture before placing an order to import any plant products, or regulated articles Plants, plant products, and regulated articles include, but are not limited to, seeds, live plants, cut flowers and branches, plant cuttings, fruits and vegetables, and regulated articles such as sand, soil, and aggregates. A completed application form for an import permit should be submitted to the Plant Quarantine Unit at the Department of Agriculture in advance of ordering the products. So, Kortensia, why do you think this comes out every year around this time from that department?
Because you can bring in plants that have all kind of insects and different diseases. I remember when Mr. Sanford brought in some palms in Antigua. Oh my God, he brought the frogs. You thought it was like the plague from Egypt because there were plenty. There still are plenty frogs from those plants. So, yeah.
Certain animals come with them, and it's also Mother's Day coming up.
Yeah.
So they, at this time of the year, they tend to send out these notices to remind persons importing flowers. etc. As I said, also includes businesses. So it's individuals and businesses who might be doing a little bit more importing than usual.
Yep.
But it's been out for a while.
Yeah,
but,
don't bring the diseases
just
to
a
the
reminder.
islands. Just be safe for themselves too, because we don't know what sort it might be, might get under their skin, and they too might get infected because they are handling the flowers and the various plants.
Yes.
So
because we do have quite a few, certain, I guess, bugs and things like that, and bacteria, I guess, that reside on plants. So we do need to pay attention when handling anything that's important. And as you mentioned, I think the strangest thing that I saw come in was a snake. Remember we had that huge... Oh yeah, you don't like snakes.
No, I never knew a snake came into the
We've also had an iguana. I remember seeing a picture that come in with the goods that we import. So they come in the trailers, etc.
He bombed the ride.
He bombed the ride.
He left
They
his
do
passport
that.
wherever he came
Just like the frogs took a ride.
Oh my!
Other types of animals have taken rides. Yeah.
But then prior to them closing the container, do they do a final check to see who is?
Yeah, but sometimes they're so well concealed. Like for example, there's nooks and crannies. Like for example, if you're importing tires, there's spaces for them to hide between the goods. So even if you look, they're hidden. You wouldn't really see them.
I remember when I used to fly, one of our planes went to France for a C check, and guess what it came back with? Ratatouille, a big black French rat. He was big. Guys had to kill it anyway, but he was furry and he was big.
Oh my God, yeah.
So we called him Ratatouille.
Don't like him.
Ratatouille.
Don't like him.
Yeah. Nobody likes rats. But he was a cute, fat, dark black rat. But
would you ever have a pet rat then?
No.
You're saying he was cute.
He was cute because he looks different. Yeah, he looks different.
So viewers, thank you for joining us today. Remember to follow us on our social media platforms, mainly Facebook, Instagram, and of course YouTube, all at Studio 327 Inc. So like, subscribe, follow, and share.
And we remind you to leave us a comment and tell us what was your favorite part of today's show. And this is where we say, see you tomorrow at 8 a.m. when you will start your Tuesday morning, with us right here at Good Morning SKN. Have a wonderful day, guys.
Bye.